Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The title is very long, but in a nutshell, I will be sharing, in the Singapore context, how polytechnics are supporting the adult learners or the working professionals in their lifelong learning journey, and also how the polytechnics are helping the local enterprises to level up their technical and innovation capabilities in the coming, or rather, in the present digital economy. Just in case some of you wonder, maybe I appear from nowhere, or I come from the outer space, Singapore is a very small island state at the southern part of the peninsular Malaysia. Okay, just to introduce that we still have polytechnics in Singapore, unlike maybe in most of the British systems. The polytechnics actually admitting almost close to 45 to 50% of any particular cohort in the post-secondary education. And we offer pre-employment, that means the secondary school leavers coming in before they seek for employment. We provide courses for them. At the same time, we provide courses for the working adults. I think most of you are familiar with all these drivers of change. And as I mentioned earlier, I will focus only on two things in the Singapore context: lifelong learning continuum on the bottom right, as well as local innovation ecosystem on the top left. Lifelong learning continuum because we have heard enough saying that the technological disruptions, the changing business models, hence, actually, the working professionals have to continue to reskill, or rather upscale first, or probably maybe reskill their capabilities, their technical expertise. And local innovation ecosystem is because actually Singapore realized that we can no longer just be attracting foreign investment into Singapore. We have to level up our local enterprises, make sure that they have the capability to actually compete internationally, or rather, fit into the world map. Because of the many drivers, I think the Singapore government have been driving a lot of initiatives over the year to look into future economy, future jobs, future skills. And we have the review of our polytechnic education in 2014, the applied learning. There is a CET 2020 master plan, and after which, Skills Future Singapore. Skills Future is a movement that tries to look into the CET, PET continuum holistically. What are the necessary skills to be learned in PET? What are the opportunities in the continuing education field? And we want to transform our industry sectors, 23 of them. We have the industry transformation maps starting from September 2016 all the way until this year, and there will be more to come. And actually also at the same time, the skills framework that actually dovetail the industry transformation have also been released. And we have the Committee on Future Economy look into really what should Singapore do to really move our economy forward. And these basically are the 7 recommendations, and if you were to look at it, actually you will find that actually we also continue to emphasize on building strong digital capabilities, strengthen our enterprise capabilities, etc. The industry transformation map is developed. Actually, it's a multi-party effort. It's with the trade association or the industry associations, some representative from the employers, the academic, or rather the vocational and technical educations, the economic agencies, etc. And they will actually cover productivity improvement, what way to improve our innovation, what are the job and skills needed, as well as how we plug into the world map. This is one example of the financial services infographics way of describing the industry transformation map. You see that actually for us, we hope or we aim to be the Asia hub for financial services. And we know that actually there are a lot of technologies coming in, fintech, blockchain, actually the identity e-payment scheme, etc. And how do we create sandboxes to experiment, to change before it is implemented into the main system? Because we all know that we cannot play with the financial system. And the skills framework describes the sector landscape, the career pathway, the occupation job roles, the skills related, as well as who are the training providers. And all this actually described for more than 21 industry sectors now. And this is one example for the Infocom technology sector. There are 7 clusters, and they involve 119 job roles, 80 technical skills and competency, as well as 18 generic skills and competency. The generic skills here refers to what we discussed just now, so-called the transferable or transversal, including computational thinking, including sense making, including collaborative skill, etc., etc. I'm not going to do the marketing, I will skip, but I just want to emphasize one thing, that the polytechnics in Singapore keep a very close relationship or working relationship with the industry. We don't have the culture like Switzerland or Germany or other, some of the European countries. We don't have this apprenticeship scheme because of our economic development, because of our historical culture, etc. So hence, in order for us to really add value to the industry, we must bring the industry element into the campus. Hence, we try to emulate the working environment within the campus as much as possible. These are some of the possibilities we work with the industry collaboration. And we actually use our Skills Future framework to guide us to review our existing courses and plan for new courses. And one thing I want to emphasize is, just now I forgot to actually emphasize one thing about our lecturers, are actually dual professionals. They are expected to know the good T&L pedagogy and practices to actually effectively teach, or rather facilitate the training of our students. At the same time, they are expected to continue to build their own technical expertise. Just imagine, we are supposed to provide continuous education and training to the working professionals. We are supposed to level up the local enterprises. We must therefore at least one step ahead of them. Hence, actually, we continuously map out our sectorial roadmap. What are the technologies that will actually become the mainstream in the near future, and how we plan our capability development. In order for us to prepare the workforce, the industry workforce, we basically must make sure that they are exposed to it. They must know what are the changes. Are these changes impacting my work? Are these changes impacting my organization? Are these changes impacting my life? And definitely, we have to provide the necessary training. And we have all heard just now a lot of discussion. Education doesn't mean you learn. You go to attend a class doesn't mean you have learned. You must participate. You must apply the skills and competencies that you have learned, so-called acquired from the education and training. And for us, we provide a few different types of continuing education and training. Basically, I just want to focus the trend for us towards modular courses, the so-called just-in-time training. We all know that working professionals or even enterprises, they couldn't afford so-called to commit themselves in the long-term, long so-called CET courses. It is best if we can modularize them, let them take whatever modules that they need at this moment in time for their job. And then for later, if there are opportunities, they will move on. And there's one more mid-career change programs. As we mentioned just now, as I've mentioned just now, we are doing the industry transformation. There are certain industry sectors may need critical manpower, which we may not have at this moment in time. There may be some industry get disrupted and may not have produced the necessary jobs for the workforce. Hence, we actually provide the programs that help them to transit into another industry sector which may be in need of critical manpower. This is one example of how we try to have a 2-day program to sort of provide the awareness, motivate those maybe workers who may be unaware, sometimes uninitiated, or maybe even skeptical about what is digital transformation. And actually, the government is heavily subsidizing this program. Just imagine a 2-day program costs less than $60 for Singaporeans. And the reason is because really the government wants to really have a massive programs that actually keep all the workers to be aware of what is happening and all the changes, all the impacts that will affect us. There are some specialist diploma programs. One of them is information system development, that actually we work with the companies in actually developing OJT in the companies. At the same time, certain part of the training, actually the Polytechnic is undertaking. And this actually requires a very close collaboration with the industry. And sometimes the OJT component is customized to the extent that we actually work together for that particular company or for that particular sector. There's also one in digital manufacturing, which we actually actively looking into what is the digital transformation in the manufacturing area. And based on the needs, we also have come out with a training program for the working professionals. And just to mention about this one center, which is set up together between Enterprise Singapore as well as Nanyang Polytechnic. Enterprise Singapore basically is our government agency that promote or rather strengthen the local enterprise capabilities. That actually this center do all the 3 E's, exposure, organize technical seminars. Actually education, they also participate in the specialist diploma related to embedded system, IoTs, etc. And also they undertake projects together with the industry so that there will be technology transfer, there will be elevation of capabilities. And similarly for Center for Digital and Precision Engineering, set up between the Economic Development Board as well as Nanyang Polytechnic. And also this on the retail side. And one thing is we leverage on good practices, best practices. In this case, e-commerce. I don't think Singapore wants to compete with Alibaba. We just leverage on their platform and see how the Singapore small and medium enterprises can leverage on that to actually innovate in terms of their products and services rather than to compete a very powerful, almost unbeatable platform in a way. And there's one National Center for Excellence for Workplace Learning. And in actual fact, this one, there is a collaboration with CVET in the sense that we are engaging, learning from CVET on the best practices of this OJT mentor, OJT coach. Because while we say that we do not have the apprenticeship culture, we want to really now to introduce this OJT and also sustainable in-house workplace learning system in the companies. I think with that, I will just end my presentation. Thank you.